That is, we're just gonna have a conversation, because I'm a dad too. I was reading an article by written by Wheeler, Brooke Wheeler, and Brooke talked about a number of things that as fathers, as daddies, we might want to hear. Be it that you're an old dad, meaning that yeah, you're a father of a lot of children, and you are coming from the old school, or you have been around father and doing the daddy thing for the longest while. Some of us who are new dads also need to hear this, but Brooks actually talked about a number of things that he took from throwaway dads. Yeah, yeah, throwaway dads. I don't really like that throwaway dads thing, but some of the elements that he talked about is very critical. But he said that there are 10 ways to become a better dad. And we want to be better at these things, Daddy. We want to be better at this thing. And because we want to be better at this thing, we need to have some guidance as how to become a better dad. Yes, I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I want to be a better dad for her. And better dad, it simply means that you can improve. Yeah. And no matter how you think that you're the best dad, yeah, you can become a better dad. And he talked about the first one, be more active. What that means. And I saw a Facebook follower of mine talk about that being active in the life of the child, despite the challenges that he may be having with the baby mother, so to speak. Right? And that's important. Be more active in the child life. And I read something uh, a long time ago that it is highly likely that a child will not be abused or neglect if the father play an active role in the child life, and that's important. And look, the first one here, be more active. If fathers don't start taking the initiative, they will never be able to assume the childbearing responsibilities they really want. Well, that's critical, and basically what the child deserve as well, right? And instead of letting your partner plug, right, you're crying and smell a baby from your arms, according to the article. Try saying something like, "I think I can handle this," right? That's okay. I really need to practice. Dad, how many times we do that? I I try to ensure that I clean my child, clean up, be it when she's messy or otherwise, because it's important. Sometimes I will say, hey, I got this. And I tend to enjoy doing it because it means that my child will smell better, look better, feel better. And that's important to me as a daddy. So how active are you? Take the child to the daycare? Yes, I mean, because guess what happened? It's important that we be active in our children life, and do something. I have a son who is 14 as well, right? I try to be active as well in his life. Yes, sometimes when they are teenagers, they tend to be separating themselves and doing their own thing. But it's important for us to also understand that teenagers need daddies to be active in their lives as well, right? Give a little guidance here and there. So this first one, be more active as it relates to being a better dad, is critical, right? So be more active with your child. The second one, get more practice. What get more practice means? Apparently, those of you, those of those, well, I'm a new dad, but those persons who have been a dad for the longest while would have gotten enough practice of daddying, yeah. But for those of us who are new, we want more practice. And again, if you are active in the child life, it means that you'll be getting more practice. But we'll also look at the second one, um, second element of being a better dad as get more practice. Don't assume that your partner magically knows more than you do. Whatever she knows about raising kids, raising children, that is, she learned by doing, just like everything else. So if we're gonna learn about how to be a better dad, how to raise our children, we have to get more practice. Yes, get more practice. Trust me, I must confess, I wasn't great at at changing my child, right? More practice, more practice. I become not perfect because I can be a better dad, but competent enough to be able to do it better. And I mean, YouTube, yes, help, initially. And when we say, hey, make sure you understand this thing because, kid is coming. And I have to be able to get it going and learn some more. And with more practice, I become competent, not perfect, more competent, that is. So don't be afraid to get help. That is, don't be afraid to get help. Say, hey, I don't understand this. And I say, YouTube, did it for me. And I'm sure that all the new dads and the old dads, talk to them. Hey, how you do this? How you do this in terms of, fathering, you know, and father not only mean changing the child and so on. The overall, support and accountability, commitment, and also, you know, being responsive to the child. The child wants your attention and so on. So the how you do this thing is important. Talk to the older dads now. Yes, talk to the older dads. Because we're talking about how to be a better dad, as Wheeler suggested in the article. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask other dads, right? Because it's important for us to do that. Classes are available, in some places. Classes are available to help fathers learn the basic of caregiving, of fathering, and that is important if we want to be a better dad. That's learning to be an active and involved father need not to be restricted to the period just after your baby is born, but ongoing, and we need to understand that. And I'd like to think ongoing mean even in the child adulthood. It is important to be there, to be suggestive, and be able to lend a helping hand when it's important. The third one, take pride in the special way you are with your kid. It's important for you to do that. And the article speak about men and women have different ways to interact with their children. And if that is so, it's important that we understand how we can interact with our children, dad. And it's all about how to be a better dad. And the article that I've read, and I'm reading now, and we're just fleshing this out because, daddy, we can be a better dad, right? And as 2025 starts, one of our New Year's resolution as daddies, as fathers, is to find out how we can be a better dad. We're not going to be an absent dad. And if you're an absent dad, get present because it's important for us to understand the challenges that our children will be facing. And I said to you before, I read somewhere it is highly likely that a child will not be abused or neglected if the father is around. Is around not meaning in the house either, but I mean active, play an active role. But try not to be an absent dad. That's how to be a better dad. Men tend to be stressed physically and high energy activities. Women more social and emotional, yes. But don't let anyone tell you that safely, wrestling, bouncing on the bed, or other guy things are somehow not important as the girl things. Yes, your partner may do want you to do some of those things. So yes, I ended up watching some of those, Miss Rachel and thing with my daughter, yeah, and sing along. I mean, I know nothing that we can do that, right? We can do that sing along thing, with our children. So it's all about how to be a better dad. But the fourth one, be emotionally available for your children. And that sounds kind of kind of rough, right, Daddy? Because some of us don't want to sound emotional, sound, being there and feel the child's sadness and feel the child happiness. But physical interaction is undoubtedly an important part of the father-child relationship, as the article said. But being emotionally available and involved is also critical. How emotional available are you? How emotionally involved are you, Daddy? Yes, we're talking about how to be a better dad, as Wheeler in this article suggested, right? And John Gottman, author of The Art of Parenting, says men must allow themselves to be aware of their feelings. Yeah, we grew up thinking that boys not supposed to feel anything, to be not supposed to be emotional. But it's important for us to allow ourselves to be aware of our feelings so that we can empathize with our children. That's critical, Daddy. I know that's critical. That's indeed critical. Therefore, we must take whatever step necessary to make ourselves available to our kids emotionally. Yeah, get involved. You know, it's important for us to do that. Trust me, I'm a daddy. You're a daddy. Look, when anything happens to our children, our child, yeah, we get emotional. Yes. Don't say you won't, because I know you'll get emotional, right? You are the daddy, right? Next one, be a partner, not a helper. Yeah, this one is critical though. When I talk about 10 ways to be a better dad, and this one, the fifth one, be a partner, not a helper. He said, despite the nostalgia of some conservative social critics, the traditional father as helper only, mother is kind of outdated and must be true in a way. And it's work. It's don't work nowadays. It's not working nowadays. So be a partner to the mother and not a helper. If men are going to be fully involved, according to the article, they are going to have to share responsibility for the household and childcare duties in an active fashion. So that speaks to how to be a better dad. And indeed, those of us who are new dads and even old dads know that it's important to be there for the baby mother, so to speak, and to ensure that we be a partner to the baby mother and not necessarily help us take some responsibility as well. So the sixth element in this article of how to be a better dad states, be available for the day to day. Wow, that's powerful. Yes, we are active. This is an active society, especially we here in the United States. And I will take my daughter to the daycare and other places, right? I will check on my son's room from time to time. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I don't play the game thing, but I know he's a gamer. But sometimes it's important to check on them, right? Be involved in their day-to-day activities. It can be hard, that is, and I'm saying that we get competent, not perfect, but we should understand there are ways to improve, and the article speaks to 10 ways to be a better dad. And this sixth one, available for the day-to-day. To be an effective father, according to the article, get involved in the day-to-day decisions that affect your children. Leaving everything to your partner, yes, the lady, means you will miss out on the small pieces, according to the article, that give meaning to your child's life. So, you know, I try to spend some time with my daughter, because she's the youngest. Yeah, the son is more gamey, and yeah, maybe daddy chill now. But my daughter, she becomes so playful sometimes, and you want to spend some time and yeah, participate in the game. Yeah. Sometimes she will be on our mat, and I will just be on the mat with her as well, because it's important that I involve in what she's doing. she'll feed her dad. I take the bottle and try to feed as well. And, be there as it relates to that. But without taking part in the everyday activities of your child, routine, those activities that make up childhood, fathers aren't going to know their children, with the kind of intimacy that is critical, fathers, and, the nuances that's it's critical to being sensitive father. And we need to understand that as fathers, as new fathers as well, how important it is to be active, to be there in the child life and the child day-to-day activities. But we'll also talk about show respect to your partner as the seventh element in being a good dad, a better dad, so to speak. I know we're a good dad, but to be better dad. And what is Wheeler saying here? Being an involved father means recognizing all the ways in which your partner keeps the family running and respecting the decisions she makes when you are unavailable. That's critical. She will make some decision. The baby mother will make some decision about the child. And it's important for you to respect those decisions because, yes, she's mommy, right? She's a part of the parents, yeah? And therefore, she has a responsibility as well as you, daddy, to make decision. And you can make decision together as well. But when she make a decision when you're not there, respect it. No, I mean, you can discuss it, but respect it because she loves her child as well as much as you do. But we'll also speak about in the eighth one of as it relates to being a better daddy. We're talking about being a better father here, becoming a better father, not being perfect, but competent daddy, right? Be aware of the need to communicate. That's what the article speaks to as well. If you don't like the status quo, yeah, let your partner know you don't like this. What is going on? I don't like this, right? If she seems reluctant at first to share the role of child nurturer with you, don't take it too personally. Yeah, give her time, according to the article, to learn that you are serious about wanting to participate more and that you are competent. Yeah, but you have to be competent in that and sincerely motivated to be an engaged parent. Are you an engaged parent, daddy? Yeah, we're talking about how to be a better dad. I'm a father too. Remember that. Yeah, and I understand the challenges that we, especially as new fathers, may face. Know your legal rights. Yeah, that's interesting that they talk about that as well. I didn't see that one coming, but Wheeler is talking about 10 ways to become a better daddy, a better father, and this was the ninth one. Know your legal right. Legal changes have given fathers more rights that can help them balance home and work. Yeah, I figure that's where the author was going about it. Talking about paternity leave. Yes, in most societies, that note that in Jamaica they were talking about it. I'm not sure if it's there now in the United States. Yes, but you have got to educate yourself about these benefits, right? For example, find out whether you are eligible for family leave, the same paternity leave under the Family and Medical Leave Act. So you can use this unpaid, yes, unpaid, but I mean, it's time that you spend with your child, and that is worth it, right? It pays you, so to speak, unpaid time off when your baby is born a few months after his or her birth. The 10th and final one, as it relates to how to be a better daddy, a better fathers, fathers. You don't know. Stay involved after separation and divorce. Yeah, that sound tight, right? Yeah, I understand. But if you want to be a better father, and I say it again, I reiterate, it was said, what I've read, that according to researchers, according to social scientists like myself, the father that stays in the home or keep involved with their child life set up a situation where it is highly likely that the child will not be abused or neglected. So when once the father is involved in the child life, it is said that the child is highly likely not to be abused or neglected. So stay involved after separation and divorce, according to the art as it relates to being a better father, right? Fewer than 15% of fathers receive shared or joint custody of their children after divorce, according to statistics. And too many of those who don't get custody end up slowly fading out of the child life. Interesting. But even after divorce, there are a lot of ways in which dads can continue to play an active role. So, hear what the author say now in terms of ways that you, if you are a divorced daddy, yes, you can play an active role in the child life. It's important that you understand that. Even after divorce, there are lots of ways that you can continue to play an active role because you know what happens. You can stay in touch, right? In person, by phone, by email, or by regular mail. Yes, you can write the child parent. So after divorce, stay in touch with the child daddy, and according to the article, and make the time you spend with your child meaningful. Yes, avoid trying to settle all marital dispute by using your children, to create a challenge with the mother. Right? Parents need to cooperate and support each other for the sake of children. It's important for us to understand that. And I was just talking about 10 ways in which we, yes, I'm a dad too, can be a better dad for 2025 and beyond. If we were not too good before this, right? And not only that, we must understand the importance of daddying and how we daddy can be very, very critical for the future of our children. Thanks for exploring this with me. Yes. Thank you for listening. Canute Exploration. I'm Dr. Canute White. Goodbye.